This is bad. This is really bad. I don't like this at all. We're almost at the top and the thunder just came in so fast. I don't know what to do.
I thought I could read the signs, see what was coming, and be ready. But I wasn't. This storm moved faster than anything I'd ever seen. Colorado is notorious for its weather, and the CDT loves exposed ridgelines. That's just how it goes here. When it hit, we were on the Argentine Spine, one of the most exposed sections of the entire trail. But let's back up a bit. I just left Hope Pass, the end of the Collegiate Peaks and the last big snowpack. Finally, dry trails stretched out ahead of us. We were entering a stretch of Colorado where towns were never far away, always tempting. But that convenience had its dangers. I had to resist the lure of a good burger and a warm bed. After weeks of slow hiking through deep snow, my schedule was already behind. I still had 1,850 miles to Canada, and at my current pace, I would finish around November 5th, well past when I needed to be back home in Sweden at the end of September. Even without that deadline, I did not want to be hiking through northern Montana in October. So with that in mind, I set off, excited to push miles on the gentle, dry trail towards Leadville.
It's been just absolutely beautiful trail. I haven't seen a hint of snow since the day before yesterday. Yeah, just really nice, easily walked trail. Just saw my first bear, but he was just booking it. Top speed way, too bad. But yeah, cool, first bear.
It's common to climb Mount Elbert right from the CDT trailhead, but Pace and I had friends, Express and Polar Bear, come out and meet us. So, with access to a car, we decided to do it from Leadville on one of our 0 days. Climbing a mountain on a day off felt counterproductive, especially when we were staying an extra day to do it. Still, I had no regrets. It was worth taking a day off to see an old friend and to make 2 new ones. The views were spectacular, but the line of people felt almost Disneylandish. I had grown used to being alone out there, maybe even a little bit spoiled. We were entering the town Vortex, a section where the lure of a warm bed can easily kill your momentum and empty your wallet. My strategy was simple. First, we would hike 24 miles past Copper Mountain, resisting going in for a burger. Then, a quick 2-hour resupply in Frisco to keep the day's mileage alive. From there, a 53-mile push over the highest point of the trail at Grace Peak and down to Silverthorne. Here, we would finally treat ourselves to a bed and a burger, taking 1 night in the town. We then had to skip Winter Park to keep the plan intact. This allowed us to put in full days all the way to Grand Lake and stay on course. It was a calculated balance. Time spent resupplying versus weight carried. It looked perfect on paper. It felt good to take control after the weeks of reacting to unpredictable terrain. But even though this town cluster allowed for quick access to towns, it was not an easy section. As soon as we had passed over Kokomo Pass, the wind picked up, and even though the sun was shining, we were being blasted by the full force of the gale coming up from the other side. It took all we had to stay on our feet as we hiked up and over the high point. Down below us, a cloud of dust was sweeping through the valley. It was a relief when the trail finally dropped down again into the forest, where the snowmelt was gushing down.
We did a double zero in Leadville, although one of the days was up to Mount Elbert, and saw some friends. So Express again, whom I haven't seen in a couple of years, so that was a lot of fun. But I'm getting a little bit angsty also. We've not been doing very many miles, understandably, through the snow, and then it's just so many like Neros and zeros right now, and yeah, it kind of stresses me out a little bit. So I'm gonna try to start pushing more miles now, I feel like, and it really makes me feel good when I do like full real days of hiking.
The trail was cruisy without the snow, and we were making better progress than ever. We hiked over the imposing ridgeline between Copper Mountain and Breckenridge, and then in for a super quick resupply in Frisco. Everything went according to plan so far.
Getting a bit tired. It's been a long day. We went into Frisco to resupply. We're to go into town so shortly after we left Leadville, but it's nice to be back out on trail and do some miles. We're gonna try to do 28 miles today, and I have about 7 miles left to go, but it's gonna be a little bit later because of town, yeah. But it's beautiful hiking. That makes it a little bit easier, and it's really nice to hike in the evenings now also because it's such a nice weather, and gonna try to get there before 8. We'll see if I can do that. It's a big climb to go still here, about 1200 feet or something like that, up to the ridge, and then I follow the ridge, and then it's a big descent. So yeah, we'll have to see, but yeah, it should be a nice campsite, I think. Ooh, it's 8:02. I have like 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, somewhere there left. So not entirely for 8, but good enough, I think. Yeah, good day. Tomorrow is also gonna be a big day, I think. We're probably gonna try to do a really long day over the full ridgeline and over Grayson Torres. Yeah, try to get some sleep.
We were making good time, camping just a few miles short of where the Colorado Trail and the CDT finally parts ways. From here, the CT heads east for its final stretch into Denver. We, on the other hand, would be staying on the divide, pushing north towards Gray's Peak. The following morning, we were woken by a serenade of over 100 sled dogs. Honestly, it was pretty unsettling in the early morning light.
Well, here we are, the divide. We are leaving the Colorado Trail and going alone, away from the Colorado Trail. Yeah, it's been a good couple of hundreds miles, like 300 miles, something like that. It's been fun to follow it, but excited for new adventures. As soon as we leave the Colorado Trail, the trail turns to absolute shit. It's the nicely groomed trail is kind of gone, and it's just rocky, sort of trailish. Yeah.
Leaving the Colorado Trail threw me off. I was leaving structure and predictability behind. There is no easy way down, no clear bailout points. Once you're up there, you're committed. So my biggest worry was the storm blowing in. On a ridge like this, you can't just hide. You'd be forced to drop thousands of feet into the valley just to survive, losing precious hours of hiking time. Our plan was to make it all the way to safety before nightfall, but that was with the nicely groomed trail on the Colorado Trail in mind, not this. At least the weather was clear. For now.
Whale Peak. There's two mountain goats down there, just at the saddle yeah, fourth mountain goat today and on the trip.
Even though the trail had become more of an arbitrary line, occasionally revealing itself between the scree fields, we were adapting. It felt like we were finding our footing out there. Adjusting the plan had become second nature by this point. And as long as the weather stayed clear, it felt manageable.
Right now I think we're pretty lucky. It looks way dark all around us. But right here it's sunshine. The wind that we had before totally died down. It's not really a trail here again. It's kind of just walking along the ridge. But yeah, so beautiful and such a fun trail today.
We walked until late afternoon to get as close as possible to Grace Peak and the turnoff for the Argentine Spine alternate. The official trail dropped 2,500 feet straight down into the valley, only to climb back up to Argentine Pass, an exhausting route that promised little reward. Choosing the Spine wasn't about thrill alone, it was also a way to maintain some control over our energy and pace. From the pass, it was then another 2.7 miles along the ever steeper ridgeline up to Grace Peak, exposed and demanding.
We are on our way. I think we just left Decato Mountain, I think it's called. We're on our way up to Argentine Peak. And the ridgeline here does not seem enticing. It's a big climb. But that should be it, and then we're going over Argentine Peak down to Argentine Pass and then over Mount Edwards and then up to Grace, Torres, and then it should be all downhill. Looking forward to getting to Silverthorne today. Hopefully not too late.
When we started the climb, everything seemed normal. Clouds surrounded us, but nothing looked very threatening. I confidently continued up the ridgeline. Halfway up, I noticed the horizon was unusually dark. I didn't remember the clouds looking like that before. A feeling of worry started creeping in, and I realized just how small and exposed we were on the vast ridgeline. That was only 9 minutes into the climb, and already the first signs that something wasn't right. Our backup plan was to seek shelter near Argentine Peak. There's an old miner's hut that can be used in an emergency, though we weren't certain it would be suitable at this point. Still, we decided to head for the cabin and see how things looked when we got there. But just 5 minutes later, after about 150 more feet of climbing, The weather began to deteriorate rapidly. The clouds deepened to several shades darker. I was becoming increasingly nervous. It felt like we were quickly losing control. At that point, we were just 0.4 miles from the hut, close to the top, but still unsure if it would provide the shelter we needed.
This is bad. This is really bad. I don't like this at all. We're almost at the top and the thunder just came in so fast. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
We had to make a decision. Keep going up hills and try to find shelter at the cabin, or try to scramble down the ridgeline and find cover in the valley. A split second of a decision, and we chose the descent into the valley. At least we would not be at the highest point of the ridge, and it felt more productive to go down hills in the thunderstorm rather than go up hills, to create some illusion of security in our frantic
I'm
state.
in the middle of it now. Just trying to get down as fast as possible.
Unfortunately, I did not get any video of the worst of it. When the storm was at its peak, I forgot everything about filming. My life felt left to fate. I had no control over what would happen next, except to scramble downhill and hope for the best. I found myself wondering, what if I were struck? Would I feel anything? Or would it all just go black? I've never felt a stronger sense of losing control. But as we made it down, the thunder began to move past the ridge, and the sky slowly started to clear.
It's starting to clear up a little bit. So hopefully no more thunder. Oh man. For a while there, it was really close. I could see the lightning. I could see where it struck, which I think is the first time I do. Oh Jesus. Yeah, we were right in the middle of it. Yeah, but we're going down now and we're gonna reconnect to the red line instead and do the climb on the red line and then hope it clears up so we can do the ridge line over to Grace. Hopefully Grace and Torres, and then go down to town.
Snow fell steadily as we climbed, and the temperatures were dropping fast. Still, we pressed on towards Argentine Pass, where the frozen aftermath of the storm stretched out before us. But it wasn't over yet. Ahead, a long, steep ridgeline led to Grace Peak, shrouded in thick clouds.
It's cleared up a little bit, but it's windy. And my camera died there for a second because it's really cold. It's probably freezing temperature, but yeah, it's a little bit better though, so should be able to get over Grace, probably Torres also. The trail is not gentle here. Luckily the wind has died down a little bit, so it's a little bit easier. Otherwise it would have been horrific. Grace Peak, I guess the highest point of the CDT, so that's pretty dope. We're gonna do Torres also because it's close, I guess. Although I just want to go down and into town. But yeah, it was a big climb up here, and the ridge line was long, but we managed, and we're here, so that's good. Woo! Jesus!
Pretty shaken but relieved that it was all over, we decided to skip Torrey's Peak and head straight down. Silverthorne awaited with the comfort of a warm bed for the night.
Outlets for days, dude. Outlets for days. It's a light, dude. Oh man, dude. I was gonna chill here, dude. I'm gonna get food brought to me.
Yeah.
The contrast of a hostel bed felt surreal after what we'd been through just a few hours earlier. We had now finished the biggest cluster of Colorado towns, left the Colorado Trail behind and crossed the highest point of the CDT. Ahead of us lay the last big stretch of ridgelines in Colorado, 39 miles of pure high-altitude alpine world. Even with a few valleys to break it up, it was a massive section with some huge climbs. But before that, we allowed ourselves to enjoy town for an afternoon. The biggest time sink on trail is definitely going into town. Just getting there and back, hitching or arranging rides, usually eats up at least 2 hours. Then comes the town chores, laundry, mapping the next section, the massive task of grocery shopping, unpacking and repacking, and of course simply walking around town. As much as we love hiking, we feel an equal burning distaste for walking around when we're off the trail. A quick resupply rally takes less than 3 hours, precious time when every minute of daylight counts. Not to mention the cost. Colorado mountain towns are not kind on a hiker's budget. But there's one undeniable benefit: calories. As many as possible, something that's constantly in short supply out on the trail. This was why the temptation of a stop in Winter Park was so hard to give up, but impossible to justify. So we pushed on towards Grand Lake, which started pretty excitingly though, meeting this guy.
Oh gosh. Dude, this is beautiful. Oh, he's so beautiful, dude.
I fell on the snow. It was just super icy and looked like normal snow, and it was just like clear ice. Scraped my hand a little bit. It is quite a bit windy right now, and it's extremely cold in the wind. I'm up at like 30,000 feet. I don't know if you even can hear what I'm saying. I put on my rain jacket, but I need to put away my cold spells, I think, because it's cold. Vasquez Peak Wilderness. Oh yeah.
The skies had cleared after yesterday's storm. Even with the wind blasting like a jet engine, I did not have a worry in my mind. After a stretch like the one over Grace Peak, I needed a mental reset. To find my confidence again, get back into my rhythm and start pushing that daily average up.
It is windy as well. Try to duck one of these stone things. Oh yeah. Whew. Yeah. Windy as hell. I don't know if you heard me. Mount Flora, 4,001 meters of the ocean. Now it should be almost only downhill down to camp we're gonna go to. Seems to be some nice camping at lower elevation. Probably some cowboy camping tonight. It's gonna be good. Yeah, but I've done 2,329 meter of elevation gain today. So that's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Ooh, I feel like my nose is a little bit burnt.
It's hard to capture just how the wind feels, but maybe this gives you an idea. I try to feel myself walking the ridge, and with the camera on the ground, you can see it shaking from the gusts. The clouds are racing past me, maybe trying to make it to Canada too. I guess as a cloud you have to take your chances when the wind's heading north.
Cowboy camping. It's been a lot of cowboy camping lately actually. It's just so good to be in away from the high altitude temperatures. I've been enjoying that a lot lately and think I'll be able to do that for actually a while now. It's good that it's summer. Oh, it's another windy one today. Right now it's calm, but yeah, I think I'm just below James Peak here. It's been a huge climb up this morning and it's been quite slow going actually. I've been struggling up this slope. But yeah, as soon as I get up to the peak and then follow the ridgeline, I think it's gonna be quite windy, so I'm not looking forward to that. But we're going down into the forest later, so we'll be down into a little bit more shelter then, so that's gonna be nice. So I'll just have to enjoy the views on this windy section and then I can go down and enjoy windless life on the trail. Yeah. James Peak. Nice. Highest point of the day. Yeah.
The wind was slowly breaking me down. If the Gray's Peak episode had shaken me, this section was more of a slow grind. I felt exhausted by being beaten by the gale, hour after hour, day after day. Every mile was a physical battle. I guess the divide is rarely nice to you. It's an unforgiving world of weather and ridgelines. You have to try to shut out the constant noise in your ears. The feeling of being tossed around. By this point, it was really starting to get to me.
Oh my god, I'm a bit tired of this wind. It's just killing me. It's just killing me.
Everything comes to an end, they say, and finally the windy ridgelines did too. We descended off the divide at Devil's Thumb Pass and entered a beautiful sheltered forest. The trail went from that non-existent walking over grassy tundra type of thing to an actually nicely groomed trail with footbridges over the marshes. It was a reward for being constantly punched in the face for 2 days straight.
I'm in the end of the day now. It does seem to be some thundering, maybe. So I don't know if I can cowboy camp tonight. Might be a little bit risky. But it's nice and warm down here. Lower elevation than I've been in a while, so that's pretty good. I was supposed to go a little bit further, but I just realized that I'll be entering the Indian Peak wilderness where you need a permit to camp, so I'm gonna stop just before that.
But there was one final challenge that stood between me and the town of Grand Lake.
This bird attacked me. I need to get past it. Maybe it has some babies or something I try to protect. But yeah, it's kind of guarding the trail right now. Oh no. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can maybe go a little bit to the left. Alright, I managed to survive the bird attack. I just climbed down the trail a little bit because she was not letting me pass.
There I was, on the 4th of July, walking into town. Despite everything, I had managed to increase my daily mileage, and the ETA at the Canadian border was now the 5th of October. Not quite where I wanted it yet, but a big step in the right direction. What felt even better was knowing I'd done it through thunderstorms, wind, being forced off the divide, and the miles of trailless scrambling. I was finally moving forward again. I was more excited than ever to finish Colorado and see what the divide would offer next. The final stretch of a state that had challenged me in every way imaginable lay before me. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Do not expect anything from the trail. Don't assume it's going to be easy. Take every opportunity you're given to put in the long days, but never count on them being handed to you. And looking back, the miles that broke me down were the ones that gave me the most. I was ready for the end of Colorado, a state that had kicked my ass, but also taught me how to stand my ground.
And I told you to be patient, and I told